Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
This is the Red Kingdom Media live postgame show.
It is playoff football. It is the postseason. And as has been the case every year that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid have been playing together in the full season, your Kansas City Chiefs have defeated the Houston Texans in the divisional round, winning 23-14 and officially hosting another AFC Championship game against either the Baltimore Ravens or the Buffalo Bills. We will find that game out Sunday night. But here on a Saturday night, your Kansas City Chiefs walk out of Arrowhead with a victory. And the three of us here, Clinton, Dale, and Lonnie, we are excited to talk about this game and break down the thoughts and opinions we all had. If you have anything that you want to add, feel free to add it in the comments, and we will talk and kind of respond as we go along. But boy, what an exciting game this was. I don't think the game was ever really in doubt or out of reach for the Chiefs. They were allowing the Texans to kind of hang in there. But I'm sure once we have our round discussion and kind of pass the ball and what you have to say, this was a defensive masterclass from Spagnuolo, and all the worries about what his defense would look like and all of the pressures and sacks that they weren't generating, and the Week 18 game, and how are they going to handle that, and how is Jalen Watson going to perform in his first game back after a long injury. But it was phenomenal, and the offense did just enough to hang in there and pull ahead. And then, fourth quarter Arrowhead crowd, we just kept letting Houston have it, and we're able to move on and host another game here next week. But what are your guys' opinions? How do you feel about this divisional win?
Yeah, I mean, I love everything that I've seen from the Chiefs. I mean, I think we started the game off kind of slow coming out the gate. Definitely didn't have the start that we wanted to. The Texans definitely came out prepared in that first quarter, really kind of like that first half of the game. But they kind of the Chiefs kind of overwhelmed them just later in the game. But just as far as the offensive front, I mean, I know there were a lot of big questions coming into the game about the possible left tackle situation and how we would handle that. And for the most part, I think Joe Tooney held up pretty good. I know he gave up one sack, but other than that, I didn't really see a lot of pressure coming from that left side. I love what I've seen from the Chiefs. Offensively, we really didn't get a lot of people involved. You figured we would get a lot more people. I know they tried to get DeAndre Hopkins involved early on, and it really didn't materialize. Hollywood Brown had a deep ball that was there. It looks like it was a catch, but it was a catch that was taken away. So the Chiefs offense did enough to get a win today, which is great. They did what they've been doing all year, winning close games. The way you win in the NFL, I think it says a lot. I mean, it means a lot, and teams that show that they have that type of moxie to win that way continue to win like that in the postseason. So the trend is a trend, and it's gonna looks like it's gonna keep trending up for the Chiefs. So I love what I've seen. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we got pushed around today. I didn't like that. Really got blown off the ball just as far as the run game, allowing over 100 yards on the ground combined. I know, so I didn't like that. I know Steve Spagnuolo probably looking to that coming into the next game, and I seen Chris Jones getting his calf worked on also throughout the game. So I think that we got to have a little bit more answers when it comes to the run game on that defensive side of the ball. But overall, like you said, absolute masterclass by Steve Spagnuolo, dialing up the blitz and getting home timely. Like they say, in Spags we trust, baby.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was ecstatic throughout the game. It was fun to watch. It was a good outing, I think, for the Kansas City Chiefs. I know we wanted to see more offensively on that side of the ball, but I think they handled the business that they had to do. I know with certain opportunities that we weren't really like satisfied with it, but that's okay. But defensively, I feel like when we come into the postseason, this is what we even seen last season as well too. They kind of they get ahead early, the defense make the stops that they need to make, and then the offense eventually makes a touchdown, have a touchdown to where okay, we have that decent amount of lead, but we are keeping lead going ahead. I am liking what I'm seeing when we do come into that. So I do appreciate what we have, but it's fun, man. I love these moments. Just being playoff football when it comes to it is different from the regular season. Uh, y'all don't see it right now, but I'm lit the whole time. I'm enjoying it, and even the times where we're not even handling the business that we can at the time, every minute matter, every play matters. Every possession matters as well too, and being able to go to 7 straight consecutive AFC Championship games, host it as well too, not hosting it last year. This is a phenomenal for a team that is really starting a dynasty, and it's something to appreciate. Now, we have not seen the explosiveness that we saw in 2019, 2021, 2022 when we won the Super Bowl as well too. Even 2020 when our offensive line went out and they, of course, they blew it in the Super Bowl. But the offense was great that year. When I see this and I'm seeing how the offense is operating, damn, Kareem Hunt, bro, I love you, bro. You get your moment, bro. You Pop, I love you. You got injured. It's okay. Like people are not going to acknowledge that. Yeah, Kareem Hunt is better than him. All this other. You're injured, bro. You got that pop. That's why we call you Pop right now. You're the one that's able to break those big runs. But when we need to get down and dirty, when we need to go get those extra yards, when we need to get that first down to extend the drive, this is Kareem Hunt. Y'all forgot me in 2017 and 2018, huh? This is what we're going to see. That, before I got suspended that year, this is what we're going to see in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Let's be real. We didn't get to see that because I made a mistake. But I'm not making this mistakes this time. Feed me. Give me the ball. And that's what I want to see next week. They want to talk about what James Cook and Derrick Henry going to do. Feed me. I was here before all of you. I'm still had to go to the Cleveland Browns. It's me. It's my hometown, but still. Pat is my best friend. Trav, he love you, but it was me and him. We stepped in together. And it's that time. And that time is now. You think whoever we face next week, y'all stopping that? Kramer say, Pop, I'm going to give you a chance, bro. I'm going to give you a shot. But when I go in there, it's going to be the Patrick Mahomes, the Kareem Hunt show. Yeah, we didn't get that many yards as them on the offensive side of the ball. I like when rushing the ball. It's okay. But when it matters in situations, they did it. We having fun out here. For everybody else, I know they're going to talk about the refs this game. They're going to have arguments about that. I'm going to be the first one to say it. Everybody else might be scared. I don't care. I'll take the criticism, but you should have watched what you was doing. You still tackling high. Even on the late slide. You still try. I get it. You got to put a body on them. You got to do that. That's how you stop Patrick Mahomes. You got to hit him a little bit more. Rile him up a little bit so you don't get that Mahomes, that match of Mahomes. I get that. But what y'all feel and realize, he's not Josh and Lamar and them. He's not CJ Stroud and them. I'm going to come back, whatever it is they want to take me out of drive. I'm finishing the playoff game. I think I'm competing with y'all. I'm chasing Brady. That's who I'm chasing. This game right here that he won, he just tied Joe Montana for playoff wins. He go out and get a 3-peat. He ties Joe Montana with Super Bowls. I'm chasing Brady. So if y'all think y'all gonna stop me, y'all think because you're gonna go out there and try to prove them wrong. I'm trying to prove them wrong too. They talking about I'm not better than Brady. I'm gonna go out there and do it. It might have been as not as pretty. The Houston defense, they got a great defense. I think Will Anderson did a great job today. Darius Stanley, he had his way. With competing with guys like DeAndre Hopkins, Hollywood Brown, all of them. The plays was there as well too. We didn't take advantage of it. But overall, when it comes into this type of setting, it doesn't matter how many points you win by. They could have had 11-point win today. They took the safety. We don't care. We're getting out of here with a win and going into next week because they don't care how we win the game in the postseason. Once you win, the next team is gone. They're out of there, one and done. Okay? We don't care how we get through it. But overall, I appreciate the performance today. I love having this type of excitement. I love being on the edge a little bit. Clayton, I had to put him on mute a little bit today. I didn't want to hear everything a little bit early. You know what I'm saying? He was getting on. He was saying, hey, look. They made him say, I said, all right, I gotta put you on mute real quick, bro. I gotta pay attention. It's playoff football now. It was a regular season. Now it's like I gotta see everything. I want to see it first, But it's cool. But I appreciate what they done today. They got the win. 7 straight AFC Championship games. I think it's going to be the 6th game they hosted as well too. So they just added more to what they're doing with Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, all those guys who was a part of this organization. They have a chance to make history. They got one out the way. They got 2 more to go. So they got a lot of work to still get done. But hey, they put themselves in positions to where they can take off, and they got a great start. So proud of what those boys did today.
Yes, thank you for bringing up the Patrick Mahomes record of tying Joe Montana in postseason wins, being able to pass him in the AFC Championship game. And lest we forget, Travis Kelce is the all-time leader in 100-plus yard receiving games in the postseason, and also a mere about 250 yards shy of one Jerry Rice in receiving yards in the postseason, which Travis Kelce is obviously going to be my MVP on the offense this game with his 117 yards. That 49-yarder, obviously the long for the game. But this was the Travis Kelce that everyone's been waiting for. And it seems like he was just waiting and holding it in for the postseason, which now that it's time, he's unleashed. He's the target. If Pat's panicking, Travis Kelce is the target that he's finding, unless it's, drawn up for an Xavier Worthy or a Noah Gray or something like that. But Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are the 1-2 punch. They will continue to be that throughout this playoff run. And, hopefully Travis Kelce gets to end the season on top. And I know everyone's kind of speculating on him and, assuming this big grand exit or whatever. But if all these records happen and the Chiefs do something that the NFL has never seen before, who knows? But for right now, I just have to put Travis Kelce on a pedestal right now. This game did not show any age, any wear down, any tiredness, any sluggishness or weakness. He was ready to play some cold playoff football. And so, I got to give props to 87 because this is the game we were all waiting to see, and it comes in the postseason. So that just brings you so much security. Now, the one aspect of the offense that is a concern, of course, is the offensive line. I'm sure we'll get to that before we pass it on to the defense. But who are your guys' favorites on the offense for today's game? And then what was your biggest concern?
Yeah, my favorite. My standout on the offense, I'm going with the same person I went with in our show, Patrick Mahomes. He did it today. Put the team on his back. I mean, Pat doing what Pat does. I mean, I was looking today. I seen that he did the right here, right now song over top of his video that he usually drop on the weekends. I mean, I was wondering where he got it from, and people were showing the clip. He got it from The Last Dance when they were going for their 3P. So, and kind of they showed the compilation of them going against the Utah Jazz. So I love what I seen from Pat today. It tells you the type of energy that he's channeling. That's the energy that we're going to need to get us across this finish line and completing this 3P. You're going to have that I don't give a F mentality. I'm running through anybody. I don't care what it takes. If that means I got to have my left guard playing left tackle, and that's what my right guard playing left tackle. That's what I'm gonna do. So I love what I seen from Pat, throwing the ball parallel to the ground. That last one we seen was in the Tampa Bay Super Bowl, and it was bouncing off somebody's face mask. This one was to a wide open Travis Kelce in the end zone with a guy falling in front of him. The picture that will be immortalized in Chiefs history forever is him, Azeez Al-Shir, laying on the ground and Travis Kelce looking down at him. Like I said, I thought it was an interception when the ball came out. When he's getting hit, he's falling to the ground. And sure enough, Mahomes throws a bullet, one of his best passes all day, to a wide open Travis Kelce in the end zone with two guys on him and one falling in front of him. So I love what I've seen from Pat, bro. A master class. That is going to be SportsCenter top 10 unless something happens in this Lions and Commanders game better than that. That's probably going to be number one. And best of all, I was watching it with my son. And, like, that was crazy. Like, I love that. Like, we're watching sports history right now. Like, no better person to do it or to be doing it with than the Kansas City Chiefs. So, like, and Patrick Mahomes. So I love what I seen from Pat today.
Yeah, honestly, I'm on Ron the coattails of like Clayton on this. When Travis Kelce balled out today, he had 7 receptions for 117 yards and a touchdown. I predicted that he'd have 10 receptions for 110 yards. So even though he didn't get the receptions mark, he did go 7 more yards over, and he balled out today. Now, Clayton, I will say, you said he didn't look old or nothing today. I was telling Lonnie that 49-yard reception, he would have cribbed that back in the day. That would have been the crib call.
It would have been the crib call 2 years ago.
But it's like, it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it was still a great play, and it was something that put us in position to still score, right? So even though he doesn't have that same, speed to where he would have been in it for a 7, he still put us in position to where we had a big play. We were able to put it into the end zone, and we were able to capitalize off of that. So just what he was able to do and able to play into the skill set that he has now, knowing at the age that's happening, like, it's not going to stop him from still being a threat, right? He's still going to make those big plays, those big catches, be able to have that little shimmy that at least get him by one guy. We're not really asking you to take off like that. It's cool. It comes with the age. We got to respect that. But it didn't stop you from being one of the receivers in the NFL that has the most 100-yard games in the postseason. That doesn't stop you from being 252 yards away from Jerry Rice, a wide receiver. I know we seen in the chat right now where they're talking about, like, hey, the wide receivers not being that involved. You're right. They wasn't. Like, other than Worthy, and I like what I saw from Worthy as well, too. Even on that one where maybe he could have, if he would have caught it instead of falling down, getting the first, if he would have got a couple more yards. But he's making somewhat of those same plays as Rice did last season. Like, we can rely on you. Now, that screen, that one throw to him where he dropped it, he would have probably got a first on that one as well, too. Who knows how far it could have went. But I like what I'm seeing. And he had a big catch. He caught it on him. We've been talking about all season. He's been making those plays. I think we're moving in the right direction. But overall, Travis Kelce, he did his thing. He put us in position to where, of course, that we were able to capitalize off of those moments that he had. He's able to set himself in the record books. So, hey, 252 away from Jerry Rice. We got 2 games left, too. Can you give me 130 in each, though? Can you give me 130 each?
I think it's possible, especially if Kelce's going to be the main target on a lot of these broken plays if the offensive line is kind of.
Kelce, give me 130 on each, bro, so you can pass Jerry Rice. And then we get that 3-peat, go ahead and retire. I'm cool. They ain't satisfied. You been here, you been rocking, bro. You deserve it. You played your ass off. You did what you had to do.
Right.
And I mean, we gotta. And can we just acknowledge real quick? Xavier Worthy is becoming a weapon in this offense. More than what I think we all thought up here. That he would be coming into the season. He got more touches than Hollywood Brown and DeAndre
And I
Hopkins.
was gonna say, I was gonna mention in between both of those points. I mean, we saw a deep ball to Hollywood Brown that just didn't quite get caught, and other than a throwaway towards the back of the end zone, Hollywood Brown didn't get a target the rest of the game other than those 2 times. We thought Hollywood Brown was going to be this tremendous impact player as soon as he gets on here, but he's just not showing up. And same goes for Isaiah Pacheco, a player who last year arguably carried this team at times and was the main bell cow running back. And Dale, you were hyping him up like crazy. Kareem Hunt, this is his team right now on the running game. If the Chiefs need a clutch fourth down run, it's Kareem Hunt, and he gets it up the middle, spinning and running around versus, I'm not sure what's going on with Pacheco. Maybe he's just kind of slow coming back, but it has nothing to do with Pacheco or his running. It has to do with his vision and just where he's finding the hole or not finding it and running to the outside. That is not what Pacheco is good at. He is good at just digging his heel into the dirt and running straight ahead and moving his shoulders and piling players for several extra yards. But this is Kareem Hunt's team in the backfield. And I do agree that Xavier Worthy is kind of starting to showcase himself as the main wide receiver. DeAndre Hopkins gets one singular target this game as well. I don't know if Andy Reid said, you know what, this game, I'm not saying it's in the books, but we're just going to do the bare basic plays and get it to Travis type plays and save these other ones for, the winner of this Sunday game and save that for a team that deserves it. Not saying the Chiefs were discounting the Texans, but I think the Chiefs kind of figured out early on, especially the way that their defense was playing, that they were going to have a shot to win this game, if not just completely blow them out towards the end. So other than the lack of pass catchers and the other ones, we got to talk about the offensive line before we officially move on to the defense. So, at one play, Tooney just got beat really fit quickly, but other than that, he kind of held his own. The right side was giving up a lot of pressure as well. Trey Smith was getting called for a couple penalties here and there. What were you guys seeing on the offensive line watching at home, and what do you think needs to be fixed going into a much harder matchup next week?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs just ran into a team that was well prepared. They took advantage of the Texans' offensive line the last time they seen them. I don't know if they were hampered or were missing some guys on the interior, but I just think the Chiefs kind of got caught by a defensive line that was prepared. And came out with some fire. They came out inspired. They came out like their coach is a defensive-minded head coach. So I'm not gonna discount what the Chiefs offensive line did. Joe Tooney did get beat around the edge a couple times. Caliendo did have a somewhat of a rough day today at guard, but I'm not gonna say we can't live with this offensive line. At this point in the season, I do not want to see DJ Humphries get trotted out there and happen to go against guys like Will Anderson. I think that would have got even uglier than what we got with Joe Tooney, being that the guy only played 2 games. So I didn't love what I seen from the offensive line today, but it was enough to get us through this game. And Kareem Hunt had 8 touches for 44 yards and 5.5 a carry. So when it got late in the game, the bodies were starting to wear down, and the Chiefs kind of did have their way late there in the game. So it wasn't their best showing, but I think it can be better, and the Chiefs will build off of it going into their next game. And I think they'll be prepared. Wherever they lacked at the guard position and at that tackle position, I think those 2 players will be prepared coming into the next game, whoever it may be. So I know it wasn't their best showing, but I'm not going to discredit them because it's, like I said, it's been a patch-together patchwork offensive line since really late in the season, and they've been fine. So I think they were just really prepared, and the Chiefs kind of got smacked in the mouth there early, but they got back up.
They only gave up 3 sacks. I know it's like, oh, what you mean they only gave? Well, 2 or 3. Yeah, they only gave up 3 sacks. A lot of people, are, what you mean they only gave up 3 sacks? Well, I mean, when it comes to playoff football, these defensive lines, these guys, they're trying to get paid. They got to get after the quarterback. They got to be able to, of course, keep their teams into the game, and that's what happened. But like I was explaining to you all before, like both of you guys before we got onto the live today, when he gave up that big sack, right? That one that he got beat badly on. And they pointed it out as well, too. When he took off his drop back when he went back, it was somewhat similar to what he was doing at the guard. And a lot of you be like, what you mean? What's the difference if he's at guard and left tackle? Well, the difference is you got a center right here that's on the side of you on the inside, and you got your tackle on the left side. So when you see a blitz that's coming in, it's always inside leverage, or it's inside leverage. So you're going to end up, if anybody, you're going to let that outside guy go out there, right? Because then Pat can see that he's able to roll out, be mobile, try to break that, and then be able to send the play from there. So when it comes to that, his drop back wasn't as deep as it was, and he was able to take off on that. And Will Anderson was trying to have a game. He had to make a point in this matchup because he was the best pass rusher on that side of the ball. So when it comes to it, and when you look at it like that, I'm just saying, like, he can get better on it, but it was a little bit very slight, very lazy to where you look like how you was when, of course, as a guard, you have to have a little bit deeper of a drop back when you on a left tackle or at a right tackle as well too, because you're covering that outside leverage. So you're gonna have to get that advantage on that defensive end or pass rusher at that moment. But I think overall, when you look at it, we're looking a little bit more weak in the run game on that left side of the ball. Now, I understand we got some guys that want to move inside. I will agree with that as well, too. But like Lonnie said, this is pretty much the best unit that we have seen so far. And it gave Mahomes opportunities to actually do something with it. Now, when we talk about what happened offensively, you saw guys not really be able to get that much separation. DeAndre Hopkins, had a little bit of struggles. Hollywood Brown almost made a big play, and in my opinion, he made the catch because he caught it. He had it right against his chest. He fell out on the ground. I know he was arguing about the interception, but it kind of could have went their way. But I think maybe we'll see more of that next week, depending on the team that we play, because we're gonna have to go all out to get to that Super Bowl. So I think they'd be a little bit more aggressive. But overall, with the offensive line, I think they did their part. You did what you had to do. Now, Mahomes, he got down on the ground 3 times, but he wasn't as uncomfortable all game. He was able to at least get outside of the pocket. He was able to move up in the pocket as well, too, and try to send those down and get it to those open receivers. And I think that's what he wants when you get into these moments into the postseason. And when we go against a team next week, they probably think that they're going to be tougher than this Texans defense. Honestly, those defenses right now is dealing with their own troubles, and you can actually expose that. The Texans defense was actually more prepared, more prepped, and actually had more weapons out there. The offense of the Houston Texans is the one that's depleted. So we probably face the best defense in the AFC bracket right now. They can still work off of that. And those guys are going to be fighting tomorrow on Sunday as well, too. We'll see how good they're ready to go next week. But, I think they did their part. It wasn't horrible to me. Would I want more out of it? Of course, yeah. I think it was time they could have got more points out of it as well, too. We always, with the number that we're sitting at with this game with 23, we could have had 30 points. We could have had 27. Truthfully. We're not one of those teams we're going to go all the way out the way. Like, yeah, we just want to put points on you. No, we're trying to get out of here and go into the next week.
All right, so quick answer from both of you guys before we move on to defensive talk. Do you believe that this is the best starting 5 offensive line, or perhaps Andy Reid will have a second look this week, or do you think that today's efforts was, good enough considering the caliber of the opponent, and will just kind of ride the wave throughout the postseason? Do you think that Andy will give it a second thought, or do you think he's just going to hold firm on the decision already made?
I'm gonna be honest. I think they did they played that we split snaps all week, and they kind of seen how that worked. I think that they give him probably full reps at left tackle all week. They're not gonna play with it this year. This week They're going to be like, no, you need to be out there. You need to know what you're doing. So I think this is the starting five for the rest of the playoffs. I think DJ Humphries had his window and his shot to possibly start in those 3 weeks of rest that we had coming into this playoff run. If he didn't make it then, I don't think he gets it. So I think this is the offensive line for now.
Agreed. Like, I don't think we move anywhere else. I think this is what you need to go with. Last matchup we played with them as well too. It was like with the Ravens was Kingsley. They beat him up a little bit, and then the Bills was Wyatt Morris. They beat them up a little bit. Thuney is a veteran. You might want to go ahead and go out there with him, be able to give him more of a fight with Von Miller and Russo as well too. So I think that's what they want to go with. This is the best offensive line right now, and who knows, they probably be able to put up more points as well too. And I think they feel confident within that.
All right, fair enough. And yeah, I agree. I don't think they're going to mess with what ended up working. There were times where it was going to give you concern, but I think throughout this run, no matter who's in what position, the offensive line is going to give up some sacks, some pressure, just because they've just done it all season. So hopefully it just doesn't come at inopportune times. And so let's go ahead and officially do some defensive talk. Both of you guys, give me your defensive standout, and then give me your one thing you hope to see different from this defense next week against a much harder opponent, whoever it may be.
Yeah, so I'm going to give my defensive standout to Nick Bolton. I think he played a hell of a game. Flashed on those blitzes up the middle. When it's time to go get one, where is Spags going to dial it up to go get it? And he's going to that his good old blitz package, whatever it is. If it's double A gap blitzes, if it's blitzing in the B gap, if it's blitzing outside of the C, he's sending guys from all over the place. And good old Spags dialing it up. He's showing, he's leaving, he's got guys thinking they coming. He wants you to start seeing ghosts, and that's kind of what CJ started doing late in the game. And Nick Bolton was a big contributor to that. So I love what I see from Nick Bolton. Just in the pass rush game and really getting home as a linebacker. I know we kind of got ran all over early in the game, so the linebackers didn't have a great showing early on. But I think the Chiefs will learn from that. I don't discount any of whatever the Texans did. They did come in here and kind of punch the Chiefs in the mouth, but it's the perfect team to punch in the mouth. So I think that I love what I've seen from Nick Bolton. Really had a great showing today. I could have went with another pass rusher, but I'm gonna leave y'all him. But I love what I seen from Charles McMinney too, because the strip sack is starting to get ridiculous. He gets one of those at least once every playoff, one in every playoff game. So that man is scary too. So it's a lot of people on the defense I could give it to, but I'm gonna give it to Nick Bolton, and my honorary is going to Charles McMinney, 90.
Like you said, it's easy. You think you're gonna save it for us. I'm not gonna cheat and use Carl Athletes as well, so it's easy to say he had a good game. But I'm gonna shout
I'll
out.
take him.
Yeah, because I know you need something to talk about, right? But Justin Reed, I respect what you did when he got knocked out of the game and went for the pick. Him and Jalen Watson. I like what he did. He led the team in tackles today. He was able to, do his part, but it seems like he was very in tune with what's going on. Now, I think it was different from the last year we saw in the contract with Tyrod Matthew to Justin Reed this year. I haven't seen him really lose a step. He always been someone who never played great against tight ends, but he does have his moments and get those interceptions. He's able to blitz the passer as well to get a sack in there or disrupt the play, and he's still doing that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Justin Reed because I like the fight I saw you today. I think you're trying to make a case to say, like, hey, Chiefs fans, stop playing with me like that. Like, I'm still young. I can still do this. I can still rock out. I can still be a leader to these young guys and still lead them the right way. So I love what I've seen out there. I feel like overall they all just was on one accord, and with the guys that we have on the front line, on the front four, who's making their statements. CJ started with a sack and everywhere as well too, and then also everyone after that, of course, was just feeding on to that. But on the back end, I feel like Justin Reed, he had them guys locked in. He had them, he had them in there to where it's like, we're not giving up no big plays that y'all think we're gonna give up. We're not doing that. Coming across that middle, you're getting hit. Down the field, we got you locked up, double team when we need it. We got our assignments together. I said it earlier before Clinton was listening. Najee Johnson, he's looking good as a number 3, number 4 corner. He really didn't get beat up, at all. And he's firing off when they're saying sending him on the blitz as well too. It feels like he's feeling comfortable. Jalen Watson being back, it puts everybody back into position. This is the number 1 defense that you were seeing all year before. Now it looks back to normal. The offense is feeding off of that now. That's why I'm happy now. That's why I'm proud of what they have going on. I think this is the recipe for a Super Bowl team. So I'm gonna give a shout out to him. It's easy to say somebody else, but Clint, I'm gonna go ahead and let you talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, you could give it to the entire defensive unit because I agree with you, Dale. As soon as you plug in Jalen Watson in that role, he had a pass deflection and really didn't show out on the stat sheet, I guess. But it just felt like the defense had more control over situations. There were passes over the middle of the field that came at some inopportune times. But when the Chiefs needed to either force pressure or deflections or incompletions of any kind, they were able to do so. And George Karlaftis, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, just insane stats for George in a game like this. He hit the QB 4 times. Just if Chris Jones couldn't get the pressure up the middle, then George was able to hold CJ in position. CJ Stroud is a very mobile quarterback, and he had several runs this game that honestly was able to keep the Texans in games for much of it. But the way that George Karlaftis was able to keep CJ Stroud in front of him, make sure he couldn't get, spun out of the tackle form, and was able to wrap him down and especially get that 4th down stop that, in my mind, kind of sealed the game long before the final whistle officially blew. That was kind of the Chiefs have won this game. The other team knows it. The Chiefs know it. Wrap it up. It's AFC Championship time. So for something that was, concerning, those middle of the field passes, Buffalo was going to be willing to do that all game, especially with their running backs. And if Zay Flowers can come back for Baltimore, then, insert him in that role of getting all the targets that Nico Collins got in this matchup. But, with Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams in the right spot, and Chamari Connor, Jaden Hicks, all the secondary playing in the places they're supposed to, this team could be spectacular. I'm not saying they're going to hold teams to very low score points, especially the rest of the caliber of teams that they would have if they win the championship and going on to play whoever in the Super Bowl. They're going to have to hold a team to as few points as they can. But the Chiefs offense is going to have to step up and know that eventually a 30-point game is going to have to be, on the back burner at some point. The teams you're playing against, that they're dominant enough offensively. One final thing for me before we kind of give our final thoughts. Special teams was kind of the difference maker in this game for quite a while. Nico Remigio had that big kick return that got the Chiefs basically inside the 15. Of course, it was only a field goal after that. But the punt and kick returns were, effective. Harrison Butker made all 3 of his field goals and both of his extra points. The Chiefs were very cautious to not kind of push that distance. Unlike Houston, whose kicker went 2 of 4 and missed the extra point that allowed the Chiefs to go up by 8 points at one time. But I saw the reports going before the game that Butker was missing some of these mid-40s kicks, and it was because of the wind. And I was there, and I can attest that wind chill and the wind swirls were no joke. So Houston was not adapt to the conditions, and their missed field goal at one point turned into a a Chiefs touchdown drive because of the short field position. And like I mentioned earlier, the kick return that allowed the Chiefs to go up 3-0 at the very beginning. Yes, the Chiefs cheated. We already got to that part. Don't you worry, guy. We already brought up how the refs definitely helped us on 2 plays, and that was it. But the Chiefs are going to be playing in the AFC Championship, and they are going to be hosting whichever team is able to kind of win the gauntlet on Sunday. So it only seems fitting because the next time we talk, we're going to have the answer. But for right now, we don't. Who do you guys believe is going to win the Bills versus Ravens game versus who would you prefer to see in the AFC Championship game if you could choose?
First, I want to say, just real quick, I'm not trying to skip over nothing that you said. But I want to go back to the defenses real quick. I love what I seen from Felix. We got to shout out the hometown kid real quick, bro. Lee Summit product. Dude we have been on him for a really, 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 really long time. Like talking about how he was a first round pick, might have been a bust, all of that stuff. He showed up today in one of the biggest games. And really got the defensive line room going. So shout out to 97 for really showing out and doing what he needed to do on that side, as far as the defense side of the ball too. Shout out to 97. But I wanted to touch on your special teams point too. Leo Chanel is a beast. I promise to God, he might be one of the best linebackers ever invented. I don't know who to compare. Like Matthew Slater, can we compare him to Matthew Slater? He does everything, special teams, stopping the run. He's like a garbage man. Compare him to Dennis Rodman. That's what they call people that like to get rebounds and stuff in the NBA. He do all the dirty work. Leo Chanel is crazy. But to the last point, I don't care who comes. Like I said, I've been saying it. I don't care if it's the Ravens. I don't care if it's the Bills. I don't care whoever it is. Bring them in the Arrowhead. We are going for a 3-peat. We got our sights set on something that has never been done ever before. So I don't care who the team is. The only thing they're changing is the color of the jersey. So I love it. So keep bringing that energy. The Chiefs helping the refs win. I mean, the refs helping the Chiefs win. All of that. It doesn't matter who comes in the Arrowhead. I think the team is prepared. Their sights are set. The Chiefs are thirsty. They can taste it now. We're 2 games away from doing what we need to do. I don't think nobody's getting in their way, so I really don't care who comes. I'm gonna be honest.
And shout out to the rest, bro. Y'all always come through when y'all need to. My bro in the chat still praise you. Thank you. Appreciate you. I want to see the Ravens. I ain't gonna lie. Look, this is the thing. I want Lamar to go out there and shut everybody up and show them y'all really always trying to put Josh Allen and Joe Burrow ahead of me. No, bro. Me and Pat been giving y'all these classics forever, for real. We started out when the Tyreek across the middle throw, no look. And he came out of nowhere. Looking like took over for Joe Flacco and made it a game. I want Lamar. Because Baltimore are hot. They had Snoop on FS1 from The Wire, T talking stuff. I want them. And I think they can do it. Honestly, I really truthfully think they can do it. Buffalo, they always have trouble in the divisional round. They made it to the AFC Championship one game, 1 year against us when it was in 2020. We faced them off when we faced them, of course, and then we was able to beat them, move on. But our line we're done. But I think overall, what Baltimore can do, I think the Bills, they have the talent. They have Josh Allen, right? I think they have that. I think Baltimore just got more guys that has kind of been in that moment in a sense, right? Lamar, I think he has a lot to prove. He has a case for MVP this year, and he want to make some noise. But matchup wise, it makes sense for us to play against them as well too. We're able to match up against them well. Josh Allen, he can get in the shootout with us if needed. Truthfully, I'm not gonna lie. Like matchup wise, when you talk about it, you kind of don't want to play the Bills because they can do it. Like 13 seconds was really the separation of us losing at least one to them. Just being honest. Baltimore, y'all dominate everybody else, but when we play against y'all, we know how to lock up Lamar. We know how to contain that run game. We don't let your receivers go out and have crazy games against us. We saw it last year in Baltimore as well, too. So I feel like you want to play them instead. But respectfully, Baltimore kind of match up good against Buffalo. This is a game of match. This is what I like to tell people. That don't mean since, oh, you beat us, you can beat this team. No, but Baltimore beat Buffalo early on in this year. NFL is a game of matchups. It's how you play against the other team. Somebody else, the Bengals. Who's our worst matchup? Honestly, the Bengals, right? Truthfully, Bengals. We hate really playing them, even when we win. It's always that close. Even Buffalo sometimes, but we had our 2-possession, 1-possession game at least against them as well, too, where it's like, definitively we won, but we don't want to play the Bengals. That's just being honest. It's about matchups. At the end of the day, the NFL is a game of matchups. I want to play Baltimore, but I think Baltimore can also beat Buffalo. Just being honest.
Fair enough. And it sounds like I have the sentiment of both of you. I think that Buffalo probably gets this game done, and preferably I'd rather face the Ravens since we've already seen them and know that we can kind of take them on. But Josh Allen is a different breed against our defense at times in the postseason, and he seems to be that one player that can always kind of get us. And I'm not saying I wouldn't welcome the challenge. Obviously, if I'm predicting it to happen, they will have to. But it just seems like Spagnuolo has a better sense of how to handle Lamar Jackson, and this game was kind of an example of what it was like for the running game for the opponent to be the main, number one on the stat sheet. But in the scoreboard, it didn't result in anything. So if we're back to, running backs are getting 70, 80 yards, maybe one singular touchdown, but their team is, 14, 17 points at most, then this defense is doing their job, and I think that they are playoff ready. But just having Josh Allen as a different type of running quarterback, the one that will run on 3rd and 4th and short to make sure that Mahomes never gets the ball again. He's kind of learned his lesson from 13 seconds, and I think if he has the ball at any time around 3 minutes, it'll probably be assumed the Chiefs will never see the ball again. So that's kind of what's going through my mind. But it does not matter what we think. Here in a couple of days, we will have the official answer of who the Chiefs will be taking on. But for this game, the Chiefs once again defeated the Houston Texans in the divisional round, moving on to the AFC Championship game. And we cannot wait to break that game down with you all. Hopefully it is a good ending, as this game was, and leads us to having another three-peat conversation and letting the fun continue on for another week. That's kind of playoff football in general. Have to just play it week by week. You can't assume this game. I know you guys are kind of confident. I needed to see it play out. The confidence kind of built the longer the day happened and the longer the game transpired. But now the Chiefs will have a tough opponent ahead of them, arguably maybe tougher than who they would perhaps see in the Super Bowl, depending on which team officially makes it out of the NFC side of the bracket. But guys, this has been a fun evening. It's almost here 8 p.m. Central Time. Dale doesn't count because he's on Mountain Time, so it's never too late for him. But this has been our show. We hope you all enjoy this episode of the Red Kingdom Media Live postgame show. We cannot wait to give you another episode next week and hopefully many more episodes to come throughout this postseason and, of course, into the 2025 regular season. But that is all of the time we have. We hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Enjoy watching some Sunday football at home, knowing that your team already got the W that they needed.
Arrowhead Invitational.
That is officially in the books and ready to go back. Patrick Mahomes has never not made it to the AFC Championship game in his career. And one last record, because we did not mention it before, Andy Reid with win number 300 for his career. Several more years to come to keep hyping that number up. Get that past Don Shula, get that past Bill Belichick, all the above. But we hope you enjoyed celebrating this Chiefs victory with us. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy the rest of your week as we break down the AFC Championship game later. But with that, go Chiefs!